This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental. Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231. Implantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodyasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty, good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on the show. Yes, sir. We are here at Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. It is Friday, February 27th, 2026. It is day number 19,032 since our Miami Dolphins were world champions, and day number 8,817 since the Canes were national champions. All right. This is why we tell you to hit the notification bell, because sometimes we go a little earlier. And today we started 5 minutes earlier because we're going to have David Furonis on now at 10 o'clock, straight from the combine. And he's got things to do. And, so he can squeeze us in at this time. So we're going to get him in early on, and then we will continue with the show, and we'll have some fun on it. Jeff in Long Island says, Big O, FYI, Man on the Run is a documentary on how Paul McCartney had to move forward without the Beatles. A lot of Wings stuff tomorrow on Prime. Well, then good. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I enjoy the Wings era for McCartney. I'm good with that, dude. I love the Beatles, and I love Harrison's solo career and Lennon and McCartney, and I'm good. I'm going to watch it. For sure, I'm going to watch it. At some point this weekend, I will watch it. Definitely. Anyway, so nice job by the Panthers. Sean Stanley. When they win in this town, we give them a little love. And our Florida Panthers dominated the Leafs last night. Give them a victory cigar. There you go. So good job by the Panthers and Marchand yesterday with 2 goals, and Rodriguez with that steal, shorthanded steal and score. That was nice. That was really nice. So it was a nice victory. I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything like that, but we'll see what happens tonight against Buffalo. And then Sunday they're against the Islanders. So they come back from the break to play 3 games in 4 nights, bro. That's a bitch in hockey, dude. That is one hell of a thing in hockey. But anyway, so we'll have some fun. I got some stuff I want to talk about with the Dolphins. I got a couple of topics I want to talk about. Got to commend our local papers, by the way. And we'll do that with starting off with David Furones, because I just, perused through the local papers just for the hell of it this morning, just to look. And I was impressed. I really was. For other reasons, I was, not surprised, and we'll get into that with Furones once he pops in. Don't forget, folks, smash the like button, please. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo, and send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Bitcoin is back down again. We are down almost 3%, 2.7, and it's at 65,866 after climbing up to 68, almost 69. Now we are at 65.8. Obviously, the inflation news was not good, as it was expected to be at 2.6, I think, and it came in at 2.9. So it came in super hot CPI, which, anyways, it's really all by not CPI, by PCE, but people, whatever. It is what it is. PCE's been hot for a while, and it's been going up. Now it's PCI finally caught up to it. So it is what it is. Boring stuff. Anyway, let's get to it. The man, the myth, the legend is locked and loaded and ready to go. David Furones with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
What's up, baby? How you doing? You doing good?
I'm doing good. Yeah, long week out here at the Combine in Indy. But yeah, I was at the Fernando Mendoza interview this morning, and then there's like long nights out and about the town, just networking and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, happy to be on with you. Happy to talk some Dolphins. A lot going on out here.
Yeah, I know how it is, and you're all day in that place where, one interview after another and all that stuff, and then you got to go out at night and write a story in between and all that. It's just, it's brutal, bro. I know. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's really not real work, but it's real work. But then, it does wear you out, and by the time where you're at now on Friday, like you're sounding, it's a long week. But
do I sound it?
Yeah, dude. I've been there and done it for 20 years. I know exactly how it is. So let me ask. I gotta commend you guys on this, and I gotta commend not only the Sentinel but the Herald and the Post, because this morning I would figure after the silly Anthony Richardson news yesterday. Oh, you could go seek a trade. I thought the lazy article would come out from somebody out there who would write a lazy article because it's easy clickbait shit. None of you did it, bro. None of you did it. Like, wow, that's whether you believe it or not, whatever, I don't think there's any chance that they would trade for him anyways. But it's just like I didn't see anybody say, put out an opinionated article about go trade for Anthony Richardson. So where do you stand on that? Because I just find it to be a completely silly subject overall.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on what Sullivan feels like was his grade on him coming out of that draft. We've seen the tape on him in the NFL, and then just what he's done with his arm leaves a lot to be desired. I covered a game that was maybe one of the worst quarterback games. Of games I've covered, I think it was maybe the second worst, and it might be tied for the first between him and it was the Tyler Huntley / Tim Boyle coming in when Huntley got hurt game in 24, Dolphins Colts game here in this city. So, yeah, I mean, based on what I've seen, which that sticks out in my mind, but that's only me. But you just haven't seen it in the NFL. Now, that's not to say that he could never figure it out with coaching, but it seems like it would still take a lot of coaching. He's obviously got the tremendous athletic abilities, but just as far as I wouldn't go that route if I were the Dolphins. I would definitely strongly lean don't do it.
Okay, and this is why, because I like to look at what's going on and kind of assess what really is going on. And one of the two myths that I shattered for everybody on our show, for those that listen, of course, because the Green Bay guys are here. And so two things that happen if you understand what's going on. Okay, so people want to say, first of all, they say, well, let's go get Malik Willis, and he was in Green Bay for 2 years. They know him best. That's this cheesy line that everybody uses and all that kind of stuff. And so then I turned it around on everybody on the show yesterday, and I'm going to turn it around on you, but I'm not going to go as deep because you're young. So I'm going to go only as deep as Aaron Rodgers. Okay. So when Green Bay decided to start Aaron Rodgers, was the team around Aaron Rodgers a good team?
Yes.
Okay. So they let him marinate for a few years, and then they put him in a position, not what the stupid Dolphins do, not what the stupid Cleveland Browns do, not what the stupid New York Jets do, because this is where I'm at now. I've learned my lesson. I've told everybody, stop going for the young quarterback. Go build the team first. Once you have lines and you have an O-line and you have a D-line, go get the young quarterback, because then the clock starts really good for you now. You don't have to pay him for 4 or 5 years, and you have a team that he can manage, like Jalen Hurts or something like that, like Ben Roethlisberger stepping in, like Tom Brady stepping in. They all stepped into ready-made teams, and it helped them. So Green Bay doesn't do two things that are stupid topics that writers and local media people and all that talk about. One, they don't throw young quarterbacks to a disaster of a team like the Dolphins are going to be in 2026. As you know, they're going to tear it all down. They're going to go young and cheap. They don't put a quarterback like that in a chaotic situation. They don't do that in Green Bay. Why would these guys? John Eric Sullivan's been there for 20 years. I didn't go back deep enough for you, but when they traded for Brett Favre and they had Dan Majkowski, they had a ready-made team for Brett Favre. You know what I mean? So because Majkowski was actually winning games. He was actually half decent. And then they upgraded to Favre because he was a freak of a talent, but Favre had a team around him that can support him. And so the two things that don't happen here, okay? And then the other one is quarterback competition, which is the stupidest subject there is in the world because there's no such thing as a quarterback competition. You have your guy, you have your heir apparent, you draft a guy, you have Brett Favre, and you say, well, I'm drafting Aaron Rodgers. There's no quarterback competition. It's Aaron Rodgers' job. When I say it's Aaron Rodgers' job, it's Jordan Love's job when I say, because he's the heir apparent. That's how everybody does it. You draft your guy, this, that. So two things that people have talked about that these guys don't do. They don't do quarterback competitions, okay? And they don't put young quarterbacks in a disastrous situation. That's why when you're reading the stuff on Anthony Richardson, when you hear that Minnesota's interested, that kind of makes sense. Why? Because Anthony Richardson can go to a place where he doesn't have to carry the thing, where he doesn't have to do it all, where he just has to facilitate because the rest of the team is there. And that's what this guy, Kevin O'Connell's thinking. Well, you know what? He's not that good, but our team is so good, I only need him to do a couple of things, and maybe I can survive with him. And that's what I'm trying to get to people. You don't want to put a young quarterback in this situation. It doesn't make sense right now because it's too chaotic. And we keep doing that. We did it to Ryan Tannehill when he had nobody around him. We did it with Tua when he got here. I mean, you think about it. We always put our quarterbacks in positions to fail, not succeed.
Yeah, and I agree. When you have the infrastructure in place first, then one, you're ready to compete quicker with the young quarterback, and two, you could get more years of him at the cheaper rate of the rookie contract, plus the 5th-year extension. You can go that route, prolong it, while you're still going out and you have the resources to be aggressive in free agency and build a real team around him. So, it's just it's twofold, at least as far as the benefits of having the situation there ready for the quarterback. Now, a lot of teams have to draft that quarterback when they are picking high in the draft, and you are picking high in the draft, let's say, because you don't have that team ready. And then when you have that quarterback, then you have to take them because that's going to be your opportunity to take that caliber of a quarterback. So I understand that as well. But especially in the situation the Dolphins are in, they're picking 11th this year in a year where it's not a strong quarterback class. And there aren't many viable free agent options, where the top one we're talking about is Malik Willis, who's widely unproven and is going to still command upwards of $30 million potentially, and the Dolphins are not in a place to go and do that. Then, yeah, it would they would come to reason to go. You got your Quinn Ewers, who was the previous regime 7th-round quarterback and started a few games, has shown some flashes, will be in the same system that he's known from Texas from his rookie year, with Bobby Slowick there as continuity. And then you can bring in someone else who fits in the mid to late rounds, possibly in this draft. Take a flyer on maybe someone cheap. And yeah, you mentioned Anthony Richardson with Minnesota. Now, if he's going and showing the accuracy that I've seen in a lot of games of him with the Colts, and he's missing Justin Jefferson, then that's going to be a big issue. But he's also a high ceiling guy too. I will say, as much as there is negative to survey about his game, then he would be a high ceiling. Like if you can fix some of those things, if you're Kevin O'Connell, and you can figure it out with him. And,
I don't think he's a high. I don't think he's a high IQ quarterback. Is the problem?
There's that. Yeah. But you can coach. You can coach that up.
You have to have like a dumbed down system where you use mobility and cut the field in half and give him a high-low option, things like that. You have to keep it real simple with a guy like Anthony Richardson. He, in a way, Ryan Tannehill was like that too, where once it breaks down his brain, he had scatterbrain, and then that's it. It wasn't once it got chaotic, it was over for him. And whereas Anthony Richardson is a guy that actually goes to the chaos right away because he tries to run out of everything, and then that becomes another problem. So I think with him, you have to have a real simple offense and then hope that his athleticism at times is what bails him out. But the problem is that guy can't even stay healthy anyways. So even when you want him to use his body, you're afraid for him to use his body. It's crazy.
Right. And then, now if you're the Colts and you invested, what was he the number 3 pick that year or 4? Well, one of those.
3, 5, whatever it was. It was high.
Yeah, right. He was one of those top picks. And then, you have made that kind of an investment. Then, like you want to make sure you preserve his body. When he gets to that next team, then you're out there like, no, dude, like you got to go and show out. Like, you run your body through whatever you have to do for this franchise right now because you've already missed on one opportunity. Now you're going to be on your second chance somewhere else, and then you got to use every ounce of everything you have now to prove yourself, because then after that you're probably out the door if that situation doesn't work. Although now we are seeing more situations like Sam Darnold. It took him a few different journeys to finally get to.
Good
You had
coaching,
one
bro.
that worked in Minnesota, and then Seattle, where it took it to the next level.
Good coaching. If you get good coaching, maybe you get a better chance, a better environment, and things that can support you. And Shanahan is a beast, dude. He just is a beast. All right, when you heard the GM say young and cheap, and then we've watched again. Let's look at it from 30,000 feet. We've watched them cut everybody. We know they're going to cut more guys and try to trade to completely clean out. I think they're going to do what Flo wasn't willing to do. They're going to bottom out. I think they're going to coach. They're going to try to do things the right way and all that. But I get the feeling that they know they need to bottom out completely this year. And that's why I don't think there's going to be any grand investments in anything. The grand investments are going to be in draft picks, in coaching, and putting time in and those kind of things. But in developing the foundation, I don't think that this is a season where they're really going to spend much. And when they go get that journeyman quarterback, that's what they're going to get. Like a guy that, whatever, has been around. That's what I think will be that third quarterback outside of the draft pick that they will select. So you're expecting them to bottom out, right? Not to really go for any kind of free agent like Willis or anything else like that.
Yeah, it would stand to reason. And then not only that, you want to be in that position where you are in a strong 2027 for that class where you will have more quarterback options. So and the Dolphins don't have, frankly, the capital right now, the resources to go and spend in free agency. So Malik Willis, I think I've always said it will only be if it's a bargain where you can get him, and then aside from that, that part is just not going to happen. So it's all right. We'll go for Malik Willis if we can get him at a bargain, and then fast forward to no chance that happens, and then I think it stands to reason to just go find another young quarterback in the draft, mid to late rounds. You have him compete with Quinn Ewers, and then just also in free agency as well. I don't see them being big spenders. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is out there on the trade block. Possibly some other moves could be in the works. Where they find some draft capital. They want to maintain as many of the foundational pieces as possible. When you look at like a Jordan Brooks at linebacker, I think Aaron Brewer at center, Patrick Paul wouldn't be up for a contract extension yet, but I think he's a guy that you want to build around. Sullivan mentioned both HN and Waddle, that he would like to have them around. Waddle already did get his contract extension, but he'll take calls on those guys, and so I don't think he's going to actively be looking to trade them, but I think teams will be coming to the Dolphins, and possibly someone could be interested in getting to a little bit of a bidding war with the kind of draft capital that they could send to Miami, where that would be where Miami would see the ultimate value is to stock up on draft capital, have plenty of picks. When Sullivan referred to his picks, the number of picks, he said only 8 picks. You only have 8 picks, which is actually one more than what you normally would have if you just had your 7 rounds. So he views 8 as only. He wants more. So it would stand to reason that maybe some of the veteran talent could go out the door to bring in some more picks. On top of, if they were to move in the draft, it would be likely to move back and acquire more picks in later rounds, or even like another second round pick to move down in the first, things like that.
All right, we're not capologists, but looking at it from the way it is right now, you're going to make so many cuts. You're going to make more cuts now. You're going to make more trades where you're going to open up more space. You're going to have more dead money. That whole craziness that people were throwing out about Tua taking the whole hit, that's out the door, right? That's out the door. It's going to be a June 1st hit for over 2 years. That because it's just too many things to pile on.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Right? Okay. So you're in agreement with me that you can pretty much forget the whole thing being on, because everybody thinks, oh, this is a 1-year thing. No, dude, it's a couple of years where you're going to have to deal with some some cap issues.
Yeah, it's much less in 2027. It's I forget if it's 66 or 67.4 million. That would be the dead cap for the 2026 cap, and then you take on the rest of the 99.2. So just upwards of 20. 22, whatever, to come in 2027. So
and there'll be
mostly
other stuff that will roll off of this coming season too, going in, because there always is, bro. There's always is.
Yeah.
You just go add something. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
and your cap commitments will be very low for 27. So the Dolphins would be in a strong position to then start to build back up pretty quickly after. It could happen quickly. I mean, the Broncos were the trademark, the template to go and
yes
pull that
and
off.
no. They had a lot of their defensive players already in place. They had a lot of young. They had hit on a lot of young picks on defense, including
definitely.
corner. And so that's where Sean kind of was able to bring in and balance it with the offense. I don't know if Miami is in that position, unless the 3 defensive tackles really come through all of us. If you know what, I can say, if this last draft actually comes out and really shines, and then these guys actually do a great job in 26 and 27, then yeah, I think you can actually. Yeah, you can make a quick. But again, you still have to get a quarterback. You still have to establish everything. I think it's more of a 3-year thing. I think more it's this year and next year are kind of establishing and ready and getting the culture ready. And then in 28 is when I think you should be competing for a playoff spot. That's what
2028 makes sense. And then you're just going to be building. I mean, you could edge defender and cornerback are 2 strong positions that are deep in this class. So you're going to find yourself guys there. You might be picking, that first round pick could very likely be at one of those positions. You're going to get one of those guys, whether if it's corner, Mansour Delane or Jermod McCoy, LSU and Tennessee, or if one of those top edge rushers fall to you at 11. If there's enough short arm narrative around Ruben Bain that he falls out of the top 10, then thank you very much, NFL. Keep Ruben Bain in Miami. The Canes Dolphins crossover fan base will gladly take that. But even in later rounds, you could find guys at those positions. It's considered a deep class. So you're going to start to build these pieces. I think probably Sully and Half will be pleasantly surprised with those defensive tackles, the defensive line. That there were some finds in like Jordan Phillips in a 5th round. That now he's a piece that they could go with. And see what you turn Chop Robinson into, which is going to be a huge year for him in a new defense. And you have a Jordan Brooks, so you want to make sure you keep a guy like that who is going to set a culture for everyone that you start to build onto this roster. So you can see it just coming together with plenty of picks, and then going into that 28 season, now you can really be aggressive and fill the holes with some premium free agents. Although it'll still be that they want their own guys that they could bring in from the start for the most part. But maybe it'll be like you have one big free agent per class, per off season, along with some supplemental guys that are kind of like minimum guys, or maybe just barely making a little bit more than that to really fill out the roster.
And by the way, 28, that's if you do everything right in 26 and 27 to get you to 28. We don't know if these guys are going to do everything right. We have no idea. But I do like what I see so far. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Make sure you follow him there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, appreciate you, my brother. We will catch up on Tuesday. Have a great weekend and safe travels.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You got it. There you go. The great David Furones, Jeff Welt, and Daniel Rayom. They are the legends, baby. I mean, if we had actual tackles like this, the Dolphins would be dominating in every way, in every form, in every fashion. 954-966-4646. They've been at this for over 20 years. They have a AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sadly, a lot of people are dealing with bankruptcies. That could happen to me. That can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. If you're dealing with bankruptcies, homeowner property damage, condo damage, business owner claims, personal injury, they can help you out. Criminal defense, commercial litigation, 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free, so you don't have to worry. You call, you explain your situation. They'll tell you if you have a case, and then they can attack it. And remember, if you have damage to your home, your condo, your business, never, ever call the insurance companies. That's what we're trained to do. Don't do that. You call Welton Rayom first. They send their adjusters over. They assess all the damage, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf. You never have to deal with the headache that is the insurance company. It's a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. There it is. Thank you. And we appreciate David Furones, as always. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Panthers, last night, they defeat the Maple Leafs 5-1. Brad Marchand with 2 goals. Rodriguez with a goal and an assist, especially a shorthanded goal. That was nice. Tonight, they're back in action, back-to-back nights, man. They will host Buffalo at Amerant Bank Arena, 7 o'clock. And then on Sunday, they are on the road to take on the Islanders at 6:30. So they start this stretch right after the Olympics with 3 games in 4 nights, man. That is just brutal. But nice win. They got a long way to go to make the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see what happens. On the court, the Heat are the Heat, as the Sixers score the last 7 points of the game to win and close out 124-117. Bam had 29 points, but he didn't have any when it counted. Wiggins had 18. Tyler had 25, but he didn't have any when it counted. Saturday, they will take on Houston at 3:30. Inter Miami getting very close with the fans, like Morrissey does in a concert, against Independiente de Valle as they win in an exhibition 2-1. Messi did score in the 70th minute. Delays. They were wearing the same colored uniforms. Just it is what it is. Anyway, Sunday they will take on Orlando City on the road at 7 o'clock. Just makes no sense. Saturday at 2, University of Miami is back in action to take on BC. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And if you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. You can do all of that through Zoom and email and all that, and they can have it shipped to you right away. They do great work, man. Great work. 3A Graphics sports column. All right. Oh, man. By the way, that was a disaster. When you whore yourself like Inter Miami does, that's embarrassing, dude. You bring Messi over, and I know you make a big investment, but then you play all these silly games in the preseason. You travel all over the world. You wear the man out, and then you have the regular season to play. Then, the first year they were throwing in the U.S. Open Cup, and they were throwing in the Leagues Cup, which the Leagues Cup will be part of it, and everything else, and Olympics and whatever. And it's like, yo, dude, there's a lot of shit going on. Why do you need to have these crazy preseasons? And then, listen, the Puerto Rican people are awesome, okay? Puerto Rican people are awesome. Everybody knows that. Cuban people are awesome. But their governments and their administration sucks, right? And well, with Puerto Rico, their infrastructure is a joke. Has been, always will be, just is what it is. They're just like we are. We have stupid people leading our government. They have stupid people leading their government. Their infrastructure is old, outdated, broken down, nothing. And why would you do an exhibition match over there? They can't even have the security. There's a guy that they're tackling Messi. Freaking Messi, bro. Like, it's, you deal with Mickey Mouse, that's exactly what you get, bro. There's no reason to have an exhibition there at all, dude. At all. And then you had to hurry it up and force it in a short week, and it's just stupid, man. It really is. And it's embarrassing that you've got to do this because you're like whoring the team around because you got to try to pull in every dollar you can because you're probably losing your ass signing Messi and all these guys. They're probably still, the Mas brothers are probably still losing their ass, and they're still trying to do everything, selling, lunch boxes to all these cheesy ass games. And it's a horrible look, dude. Just a horrible look. A game that's forced, not needed. You're putting people at risk of injury for what? Just silly. Absolutely silly shit. And it is what it is. But wow, man. Terrible stuff. Anyway, Jay Bird, I see in the house on the chat board. By the way, out here at Acura Pembroke Pines, do want to remind you, since we are out here at 15601 Pines Boulevard, we've got the customer appreciation sales event going on right now. And the 2026 Integra, $239 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX 2025 model, $369 a month, 3.9% financing. The 2025 TLX Tech, $389 a month. That's a joke. 3.9% financing for 60 months. Come on out here and check it out, folks, and tell them that Big O sent you. Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, just great people out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. And we're at the end of the month, so they always want to close out strong, and you got a nice selection because the cars are overflowing here on the lot like they always are, bro. They always have a large selection. And by the way, they got a lot of certified pre-owned vehicles. You want to check those out too. All right. Let's see. Big Johnson, good morning to you, sir. Kosa, Lou from Dade, hitting that like button. Thank you. Jeff in Long Island, Horn Dog, Jamie Zori out in San Jose, the great Stoney Stanley, Lenny Pena. Man, the Heat officially suck. Lenny, it's a bad front office. It's a bad ownership group right now. They are, and not bad in the sense that they're like, they don't know what they're doing, but they have lost their way nowadays. And that's it. Listen, man, everybody's time comes and goes. Maybe you don't want to hear it, but that's what it looks like for Mickey Harrison and for Pat Riley now. It looks like their time has come and gone, and they refuse to change with the times, and we're stuck with two older guys that the game has changed, and their ignorance doesn't allow them to change with the game. Like, oh, no, we want to change the system. Tanking is below us. No, it's not, dude. You know what's below Heat fans? The sorry-ass team that you put out every year that's a suck-ass playing team. I'm hearing Bam after the game, I don't want to be a playing team. What? Your sorry-ass didn't score a point at the end of the game. I don't care about the 29 points. Did you score at the end when you needed points to close out the game? Why? Because you're not a star. You're not a closer. No stars. I had some idiot on Twitter, Spo's the problem. I'm like, yo, dude, Spo's the only thing elite in the damn franchise left. Pat Riley's no longer elite, and the Harrisons are no longer elite. They don't run it that way anymore. They refuse to do what you're supposed to do in today's NBA. That's all. And like I keep telling you, don't mention to me Philadelphia anymore, but that's the way you're supposed to do it. Because it worked out for OKC, it worked out for San Antonio, it works out for Detroit, it works out for Orlando, it works out for several teams. Houston, there's a lot of these teams that have sucked, gone into the lottery, and have found themselves some stars, and they're way ahead of Miami. So, it is what it is. That's the way you get better, and they're refusing to do it. And Spo can only do so much. He has no stars. Even with the scrubs that year that he went 31-10 to just like be even at the end of the year, that's because that's the best you can do with those kind of guys. And this is the best you're going to do with these kind of guys. Because there's no stars on the Miami Heat. Pat Riley cannot find a star if his life depended on it anymore. If it wasn't for Dwayne Wade, he wouldn't have been able to find a star in the last 15 years. because Bosch, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler are here only because of Dwayne Wade. That's it. So that's what's going on, Lenny. Unfortunately, the Miami Heat have lost their way, and they don't know how to do it anymore or refuse to change their ways to do it the right way. That's what's going on, unfortunately. Good morning to you, Alexis Palenzuela, Brian Landis, Ray Varnicus. Sully going to trade down out of pick 11 for more draft capital. Mark my words. We'll see. Either way, whatever, man. You know what? To me, it doesn't matter because none of these picks are going to make you a Super Bowl contender right now. You're not going to the playoffs next year. It's all about building. So whatever you draft, whatever, I'll wait to react when I see them on the field and I see if you can coach them up and if they can make plays and be leaders or stars or whatever, and we'll find out. But, what can I do? Right now, it's just sit back and wait. A lot of waiting. Good morning to you, Juan Rosa. Blessings to you, my friend. If someone really good drops to 11, don't trade down, but I agree with you, says Jeff. Yep, you got to build through the draft. I agree, Chuck. Good morning, J-Town. Gus 1388. Rig. Let's see. It's Nick Prison Problem. Oh, Nick Harrison. Yes. Yeah, whatever, bro. Nick, Mickey, Pat, ownership, and Riley. They don't cut the cheese anymore. That's all. That's all. They don't cut the cheese. Let's see. I hear you, Big O. You're absolutely right. This team is so frustrating to watch. At this point, I've learned how to accept it. Nothing else I can do. I mean, it is what it is. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says WWE Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes versus Javon Evans versus Tricky Williams versus Jey Uso. Who wins? So everybody's fighting everybody here?
So there's 6 people in the match. 4 people go into chambers and are let out in intervals. I believe it's 5-minute intervals. And then so 2 guys start, but the winner is the last one standing. So everybody's going to get beat. 1 person will be left.
All right. Well, LA Knight, I'm not going to go with because I'm thinking of British Knights. And those were terrible shoes. They were kind of tacky. So I'm going to go with LA Knight being kind of tacky. He's out. Somebody named Jey Uso, they didn't even take enough time to give the guy a proper name, spell it right. Like Jay is spelled wrong. It's got an E in the middle. It should be an A. Like you can't even spell Jay the right way. So Jay not spelled the right way. There's no way. So we're going to go with that. Javon Evans. He just sounds to me like a track star. And if we were running a 400, I might pick Javon Evans in this race. You know what I mean? Now, you can't get tricked with Trick Williams because listen to his name. If you pick him, you got tricked. So you got to stay away from him. Where you're going to jam is with Cody Rhodes because he's the brother of Randy Rhodes, the great guitarist that passed away with Ozzy Osbourne, unfortunately. Not with, but, he was with Ozzy at that time when he passed away. 2 days before I was supposed to see him here in Miami, by the way. Just want to mention that. But in honor of Randy Rhodes, I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes here because, he's the guy that's going to go over the mountain. All right? So there's my pick, Cody Rhodes. What do you say? What do you say?
Everybody is probably cursing you now, but I think that's the way they're going to go. It's the safe pick.
Yeah,
not how you got to it, but
it's the smart pick.
Yes, it is because
what are you talking about? Safe pick. You know it. Singing a little Ozzy Osbourne. That's it. So that's the breakdown that you get. And Cody Rhodes will win. So for those of you, again, I am not a wrestling expert, not a financial expert, not a crypto expert, not a sports expert. I'm not an expert in anything. Okay? I'm like Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. But if you want to go to Poly Market with that, or what is it, Kalshi, or Hard Rock app, I don't even know. Do they do that at the Hard Rock app? Do they have, no? Well, there you go. I'm just saying, I got my money on Cody Rhodes. Okay? So, there you go. Ty in the Bronx is in the house. Horn Dog says, even Dwayne Wade on his podcast admitted tanking was the way to go and has been for decades. Wish he had ownership with our Heat. That he wouldn't have enough because Mickey would still have control. Lisa, what is that yellow disc in the sky I see? It's not gray, snowing for once. Happy Friday, Finn's family. So it's not gray and snowing for once. So it looks like in Rochester they're happy. No snow today. Thank God. It's nice to hang out in a t-shirt all day. That's what I like. I don't like putting a jacket on whatsoever. Let's see what else. Alexis says Big O wrestling knowledge, but he's right. Cody wins. Well, listen, all I can tell you is I can give you a thorough breakdown of any wrestling match. I'll break it down like nobody can and give you reasons that have no reasoning, but effective. That's all I can say. It's effective. Sean, every wrestling fan sees it like Big O, A+ analogy, and just like he's not a financial advisor, he's not a wrestling expert. You know me well. You know me well. I had some Trumpy yesterday go out. He goes, keep investing in crypto. And I go back at him. I go, yeah, I will, just like Donald Trump does too. He's got 6,000 Bitcoin. I go, you don't even know your own people, bro. Not very bright. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, speaking of that, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. We always appreciate that. Thank you. Denardo Joseph, thank you for the love on Cash App, sir. He says, good morning, Big O and Sean. Have a blessed Friday. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your generosity. Thank you. A little love on Cash App. Thank you. And again, you send in your questions, comments, insults there. We will answer them here on the show. Appreciate it. Oh, man. So, couple things on, by the way, this Ruben Bain stuff. On the short arms, come on, bro. Either Sam Mills was short arms, short torso, short legs, and what? Barry Sanders was like 5'9". Was I think Luke Kuechly was like 6'1", actually. Yeah, I think he was like 6'1", 6'2". Yeah, no, Luke Kuechly had some size to him. Trying to think of some. Drew Brees was a small guy, and but I mean, can you play or what? I've seen guys that are not the tallest. I've seen guys that are short and fat. I've seen all kind. Are you a player, dude? What was Luke Kuechly? What? 6'3". Yeah. No, he could carry 250, man. Yeah. He was fine. But overall, I just think that there are just some players that you don't necessarily use measurables for. And Ruben Bain, I saw a tweet and I retweeted it because you got to give people credit when they just put some shit out there that is. I mean, I have fun at ripping some of the people that put stupid stuff out there. But when you put good stuff, you got to give people some love. This guy, Sam Block, let me see, where is he from? I guess he's from ESPN. I don't know who the hell he is. It just came on my timeline. I don't follow him or anything, but hey, man, much love to you, Sam Block. Ruben Bain dominated versus Ohio State. Ruben Bain dominated versus Indiana. Ruben Bain dominated versus A&M. Ruben Bain dominated versus Notre Dame. Ruben Bain dominated versus Florida. Ruben Bain dominated versus Pitt. Short arm, sure, but he's going to be elite on Sundays. That's it. So he put it perfectly. This guy was not just a big-time player. He was a big-time player in big-time moments. And if you talk shit about him, like some of the people in the playoffs understood, then that week he was going to show you that you were full of crap. Didn't the Texas A&M guys talk crap and he had like 2 sacks against them? And that line was, oh, no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine with Ruben. Yeah, were you? I don't do that. I measure the person by the heart. The last time I checked, doesn't Anthony Richardson have all the measurements? Measurables are all there, right? So then are we about measurables or are we about accomplishments? Are we about performing? Are we about what do you do on Sundays, Saturdays, whatever it is? Do you show up? I just talked about Bam Adebayo. He's on the all-runway team. He athletically looks great. He is a fantastic human being. He gives you great effort. Last night, 29 points. When push came to shove at the end of the game, when you needed the points to close out the game, where was Bam Adebayo? Where he always is, sitting in Aruba, relaxing. Now, if we had Asia Wilson on the team, you might have won the game yesterday because she would have stopped you from scoring, and then she would have scored on your ass on top of all of that. But Asia Wilson is cut from a completely different cloth than Bam Adebayo. So this whole thing about, oh, he's got short arms, you know what? Somebody's going to get themselves a bargain, because if he falls a spot or 2 or 5 because of this, and some teams, they're going to pass up one hell of a player. In fact, I hope he falls to 11, and I hope the Dolphins take his ass, because I would love to see him here with the Miami Dolphins. By the way, Zach Thomas had long arms? 5'11". That's generous. I stood many times next to Zach Thomas, and I'm 6'1". He might not be 5'11". Okay? And by the way, was he 5'11" with like arms that were like hanging down to his ankles? Oh, okay. How did he end up in the Hall of Fame? I think we interviewed him in the Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. Come on, man. You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But this is the off season. This is what we do. And then we get like these little stupid things and we hold it against players and all. Look, the whole Will Campbell thing, it wasn't about his arms. It was about his knee. He couldn't move like he normally would. So it doesn't matter how long your arms are if knees can't move because you have a knee injury. Yeah, you know, so, it was his short arms. Well, wait a minute. So his short arms didn't affect him all year, but at the end when he had a knee injury, all of a sudden it's a short. You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't have it both ways. So it wasn't, the guy's a player. He can play, but again, if you're injured, you're injured. It happens. I just find it hilarious that anybody wants to underestimate Ruben Bain. That is just funny. By the way, I don't remember Ray Lewis being a giant linebacker and giant arms and all that kind of stuff. You can look him up, and I bet you Ray Lewis was either 6'1", maybe 6 foot. I don't think he got to 6'2", Ray Lewis. Look it up. I don't think he was a big linebacker either. He got thick. 6'1", right? He wasn't a big linebacker either. He didn't have these long ass arms or anything like that. I just, are you a player or not? I'm not asking that you were a project and you flashed and you're this great athlete and you came out there and you did so much at the combine and, oh, my God, you're a workout freak. No. What did you do on Saturdays? Oh, wait a minute. You were a werewolf? You mean you terrorized everybody you played against? You mean in the year where you went deep into the playoffs to the national championship game, you were an impact in every big game? Okay, that's who I want. I don't give a shit about your size. I'm not worried about that. I know you. I worry about that thing in your chest that determines who you are. That's what I can measure. And when I measure Ruben Bain's heart, come on, man. You think I'm worried about his arms because he might be an inch or two shorter? Give me a break. Did you watch this guy play? Give me Ruben Bain on my team every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And make him a Miami Dolphin, and I will be really, really, really happy. Really happy. This is just ridiculous, dude. Like, watch that man play. He was a badass. Saludos de Peru. I've been looking at Peru. Peru and Paraguay are two countries that I've been looking at in South America because they're kind of a little like going under the radar. Still Panama is the lead dog for me. Little Uruguay, but Peru is interesting, man. Peru is interesting. So hello to you, sir, in Peru. Let's see. Anthony Kyle Campos, Sioux Falls varsity at its fullest yesterday. My God, I'm so over Miami Heat. I'm glad season ticket holder in the Wade era, and then now not so much. Invested still have season tickets. Sell a lot of them. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't get it how they're not willing. I find, maybe it's just me, dude, but I find it exciting to go into the lottery and go get a young guy. I think it's fun because if you get that young star, now all of a sudden watching those games are different, dude, because you have that dude at the end of the game. We don't even have one of those dudes.
It's funny because I go back to what you were saying, I believe it was yesterday. And while it is exciting and all that, if they're not winning, unfortunately in South Florida, we're not going to show up.
No.
I mean, we'll show up once they start winning again.
Right.
But the Heat have, and I think that's where.
But you're middling.
But people are showing up because they're at least
they're
looking competitive or whatever you want to call it in their eyes to where people are still showing up. The problem is you do take that step back. And again, I think you've said it many times, they've earned the right to take a step back. But I think in Harrison's eyes and everything else is like we go from, a 3/4 filled stadium or a full stadium to a quarter filled while we rebuild for that year.
I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be a half or 60, 70%.
Because seats are going to drop.
I don't think it'll drop that badly because I think people will hang in there hoping that the turnaround comes quick and you get that star and you can hold on to your seats. You know what I'm saying? So I think people will still see if you do. See, here's where I disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're now turning your fans off
that's where I was
because
gonna go
you're
next,
not doing anything productive. And so then the day you do finally decide to tank,
they're going to go off.
They're going to completely get away from you because you've already, for the last 4 years, have been a shit franchise.
Yes.
Okay? And you got lucky to get to the finals. The worst thing that happened to the Heat was getting to the finals so easily on the bubble. And then when you had Embiid and Giannis injured, and that made it an easy for you thing that all you had to do was beat Boston and you got in. And then you got torched in the finals, proving that you didn't belong there. It was all flukish. That's the worst thing because we kept thinking, oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's possible. And it's not, dude. That was just like the basketball gods were looking on us and they said, oh, let's give you a couple breaks here and there. And then, it all happened for us. But it wasn't reality. And so now you've been selling a mediocre product and people are already getting turned off like you see right now with Anthony Campos as he's been selling a lot of his tickets because you're already getting turned off. I have friends of mine that have already canceled their tickets. Last year, they canceled tickets and the year before. This year, they're not even part of it already. So it's already happening that they're in the process of that. So by the time you decide to tank, then I can see you. You should have done it already from the get-go, and you have all your fans, and you tell them, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. We're going to go after our young stars to go out. And once you get one of them,
then you can start.
Then everybody gets back on because you have the best coach in the business. So now you're going to have complimentary players because, hell, no, we know you can develop those. So you have plenty of those, but you have no stars. Look at last night again. That's why he's always been a super role player. Bam can never finish. It's not who he is. Sucks, dude. Sucks.
And now I think they've gone too far to where now if they do the reset, I think they're in the situation we just discussed. Where everybody's already starting to jump off board. Now, when you do start losing, you're definitely going to jump.
Bite the bullet already, dude. Do the right thing.
Bite the bullet a couple of years ago.
Should have. The year I said they trade Jimmy, that was the year to do it because you would have gotten a boatload of picks for Jimmy right after the finals. But they were as intoxicated as a lot of you. And I am super glad to be the asshole. I got no problem, dude. I've played this role in this town for over 30 years. So I'm good. I'm fine being the brutally honest person that tells you, and a lot of times I end up being right on this because I'm willing to look at it objectively. And that's where the Heat screwed up, and that's where a lot of fans also went along with it. Should have dumped Jimmy. That's when you had to make the turnaround. But got intoxicated with it. Mike Singletary was 6 foot, Ted. Yeah, you know what? I remember he wasn't tall. You're right. Was it 6 foot? Wow. Yes, sir.
No, the other thing I was going to say was you had a healthy Tyler Hero, then you would have known then what you're knowing now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like time to get away from instead of being like, oh, let's wait, and dragging it out even further.
Yep. Agree. Lenny says, let Ruben Bain fall to 11 because of his short arms. Half would pound the table for that guy right now. Hell yeah, bro.
I bet Half and Sully are out there just spreading the rumors.
Yeah.
They're like short arms.
Short arms.
Halfway the defensive guys, like, I would never take that guy.
Yeah, Halfway's walking around short. Oh, yeah, dude. I just saw him. He couldn't reach for change in his pocket. He had to twist his body sideways to reach the change in his pocket at the bottom of his pocket. Yeah, they're exaggerating and stuff. Short arms? Damn, I thought he was an Oompa Loompa. There's no way I'm touching him. With a name like Bane, you have to fear him. Yep, that's right. Call him Mr. Bane. Bane. Think Blue Dodgers is checking in. You know he's token away right now. Drew, I like Big O's analogy on WWE. If you don't, you know there's something wrong with you. You got to like the breakdown that we give you. You know? Grande Corazon, exactly. That's right, Ted. Let's see. Big O, the Marlins, bro. They suck. I only renewed Florida Panthers. I gave supporting Sherman, the Finns, and the Heat. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Big O, all he does is talk shit. Yeah, that's my job, dude. So you figured that out now? Wow. Took you a little while, bro. Damn. Yeah, he is Captain Obvious. Shouldn't be called Rig. He should be called Captain Obvious. Big O, I'm getting to the point where I don't care anymore about the Heat. The team is mediocre. It's just, it's not that you don't care because I think we all care. It's just like used to it already. We're like beaten down. We're not there's no expectations anymore for the Heat. Let's be honest. That's really what it is. We have nothing to look forward to with the Heat. It's all manufactured bullshit because there is no chance of you winning at all. At all. The Heat can, I saw the press conference after. We will win. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, and Spo. And I just feel bad for him because he doesn't believe the bullshit himself. But he has to say it and all that, and he doesn't have the horses. If he had the horses and he was losing, then I'd blame him. But he doesn't have the horses. When you're a dog, you're a dog. And Bam Adebayo is not a dog. And last night just showed it to you. When they go and score the final 7 points and our guys do absolutely nothing. Embarrassing, dude. Embarrassing. But again, by the way, going back to my conversation with David Furones, I want to congratulate the people at the Post and the Herald and the Sun Sentinel. None of them did the lazy article yesterday of Anthony Richardson and all that because it's an easy clickbait article. I did get in the car, and a couple times I ran into a couple shows on QAM, and of course, but I expect them because they don't really do a lot of real sports talk, and they do a lot of the lazy hypothetical bullshit, and they were using it, but I kind of expected there. But I was shocked that nobody took an easy layup article for that to kind of go in that direction. Let's see what else. Bain will be an impact NFL player like Dwight Freeney with the Colts. By the way, I think that's a great example on your part. I don't think Dwight Freeney was like a huge defensive end. Can you look that up? I think that the guy that played opposite of Freeney, what was his name? I think he was the bigger size player. I don't think Dwight Freeney was like a large defensive end, if I remember correctly. Maybe a 6'2", 6'3" end, something like that. 6'1". Wow. There you go. Nice one, J-Town. Oh yeah, he did have long arms. Yeah, he did have long arms. But Freeney was a good player, man. But I remember that he wasn't a big guy. Yeah, man. Ty in the Bronx, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Very nice of you. I have complete confidence in Sully and half. Well, I can't say that yet. I'm hoping I get it. But I do love everything they've done so far. Everything they've done so far has been to a T. And everything they've said all the right things. Now, if they go and do some stupid move like Malik Willis or Anthony Richardson, well, then now we're going to start having a problem already. But I don't think they're going to do that, dude. I think they're really going to tear it down. And as I've pointed out, they're Green Bay guys, right? And Sully's been there for 20 years. Their history is not to throw young quarterbacks into a shitstorm. They don't do that. Their history is not to have quarterback competitions. No, they have quarterbacks and then they draft an heir apparent or trade. Either you trade for Brett Favre or you draft Aaron Rodgers or you draft Jordan Love. That's how they do their business. You know what I mean? So I just kind of think it's going to go in that way. Bam is no VJ Edgecombe has all the edge, no comb. Exactly. Yep. Who do you want? Cats to lose and get the high draft pick and come back strong next year? You know what, Matthew? I would love for the Panthers to take the year off. Yes, I would like for them to. I don't care about the draft pick. They're loaded, dude. That draft pick won't make an impact on this team for years to come. They've got veterans here. They're here to compete. But I don't know if they have enough to last 2 months right now. They've had so many injuries that I almost feel like I want them to have a full off season to come back next year, feel fresh, and then make a Stanley Cup run, because I think they could easily do that next year. And if they can be fresh, unlike the last 3 years, the Panthers have had the shortest off season in the NHL because they're the only team in the NHL that's made it to the finals every year. So if you made it to the finals every year, you have the shortest offseason. And 4 years now in a row, it all caught up to them, and they're human, dude. 82 games of hockey is not made for the human body. It's just not. If you ever been to a hockey game, can you imagine playing 82 of those and then you go to the playoffs for 2 more months? It takes a different kind of freak to be able to endure that kind of pain and punishment for that long. It's brutal, man. It is brutal. So we'll see what happens. And the moon is Pele Larson's doppelganger too. His face constantly getting rocked, man. Yeah, I know. He should call, what is it, Lloyd's of London, and get his face insured. You know, people have gotten all kinds of things insured with Lloyd's of London. I think it's time for Pele Larson to insure his face because he is crazy. All right. The man, the myth, the legend, that is Larry Schlossberg. I think Sean is ready to go.
Speaking of freaks, huh?
You are the freak.
What timing? I heard there was a freak show in process.
Yeah, the echo going on there. I think the volume on that. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me see. I don't know when he talks.
Am I live? Am I in person?
Now you're good. Now you got
all right.
Now you got no echo in your.
All right. Well, I'm back from the canyon.
Yeah, you're back. By the way, speaking of canyons, because Vegas has plenty of those.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about Metallica?
I'm excited. Sphere. It's not the Sphere. It's Sphere.
Sphere.
Don't say the.
Sphere. And I've told you, the best place for a concert.
Yeah, I gotta go.
You would appreciate it more than I would because you're a musician. You know, you're an artist and you jam on stage, and you would appreciate it more than anybody else.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of shows, and obviously it's an experience like no other, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Metallica. Who else would you want to see there at this point?
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw U2, which was awesome.
I'm sure that was awesome.
Oh, it was great, dude. And the imaging and everything, it was just fantastic. I'm going to see No Doubt now in May. Metallica.
But the first real heavy rock band to play there. I mean, what could be better than that? Right?
Yeah.
What could be better than that?
The only other band that I'd like to see after Metallica there would be an Iron Maiden, actually.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing too. I mean, someone with a deep
their imaging,
the imagery, and someone with a deep catalog, that could really, I understand the expense to set that up, the production expense to they'd have to really be able to play for a while and to reap that.
You got to be able to sell out the place for a while. Yes, completely different.
Yeah, that's
playlist.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they've been doing that for several years now. That everywhere they go, every concert I've gone to, it's a completely different set list the next day, which is
it's going to crush. It's going to be awesome.
Oh my God, what an experience, dude! Yeah, and I'm going to see Santana the next day.
Where's he playing?
At
like House of Blues.
House of Blues.
Okay,
House of Blues.
Yeah, I've actually got tickets for Santana here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Okay,
it's in April.
It's in April.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the month before.
Yeah.
It's next month. He's in Vegas.
What do you know about that?
I will probably when he's in town. I will call. I know Tommy, who's one of his guitarists.
Okay,
and so we'll probably get him on the show when he comes to town.
That's awesome.
Tommy's good people, man. He's been with him for like 16, 17 years or something like that. 20.
Job security
He was with Gloria Stefan.
Okay.
For like a decade or something, and then when she kind of stopped touring, he was able to hop on right away.
He's got to be solid, dude.
Yes. No, but what about that gig?
I mean,
last 30 years.
What I'm saying is that he's got to be solid because you don't get work like that unless you're it's the real deal.
Yeah. He's good. He can sing and he's a great guitarist, dude. He does excellent work. But anyway, so I can't wait for that. And by the way, they're doing it on my birthday to start off, October 1st.
Happy birthday. I didn't know you knew Lars and James that well.
Yeah. So I will celebrate my 60th with Lars and James.
Wow.
6.
What do you know about that?
On October 1st, dude. 6-0.
And so many people said this day would never come.
No, I definitely when I was 18, I probably didn't think it would ever come. That's for sure. You're not thinking about it then, man.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah, Roger Daltrey didn't think about it either when he wrote that lyric.
Yeah. By the way, a young Who.
Yeah.
In the Sphere.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Oh,
sure.
God.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
Do Quadrophenia.
Stuff like that would have been amazing, right?
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, imagine if Pink Floyd
or
something like
the
that.
real Floyd together. And there.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's never going to happen.
No. That's
Yeah.
forget about that now. I mean, those two, they're polar opposites as human beings and everything else.
Yeah.
As it is. So that's never going to happen.
Yeah. That's
but that would be there are some acts that you think about that in the past. That's the kind of venue that would have really just accentuated
absolutely
what they do, and it's now they're building more of those. By the way, they're
building like a smaller version of it somewhere around the DC area or something. I heard.
Yes, they're going to build a smaller version of it. It's like 12,000 or something.
Yeah, because this one holds 18,000.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big venue.
Yeah, no, it blows you away, dude. Like when you look at it from the outside and then you walk in and you're like, wow, this is just at a absolutely another level. And that's why, somebody's putting AC/DC or Guns N' Roses in the sphere.
Could see that. I could see that.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. I like that. AC/DC would pack it for a while, and so would Guns N' Roses.
They're selling out stadiums.
So, yeah. And Pearl Jam would also be another one.
Pearl Jam could probably do it. They got a loyal following.
They got a super loyal following. They could pack that thing for a month or two. The Eagles, this version of the Eagles has been at the Sphere a lot.
Yeah.
Actually. Have you seen this version of the Eagles?
Not live. Actually, the last time I saw the Eagles in person was a while ago.
We still had Glenn with
Fry
us?
was there.
Yeah.
And that was here at Sunrise,
where
the Panthers play.
Yeah, I saw that. I know exactly. That was the Hell Freezes Over tour.
No, I think
it was the one right after.
Yeah.
The one
they were all wearing like black suits and ties.
Yeah. It's the one right after Hell Freezes Over. It's man. That Timothy B. Schmidt has that song in that next one.
I can't tell you why.
No. He has that other slow song in that second version of after. It's like it was a semi-hit for them. Actually, It's a decent song. You would know it if you hear it right away. And they played it in that show and everything. So I know exactly.
The highlight of the show is always Joe Walsh's part when then they're doing Life's Been Good and Rocky Mountain Way, and I mean the Eagles are great. Obviously, the number one selling record of all time.
Yeah, the greatest hits.
Their first greatest hits record or their only greatest hits record.
Yeah.
But I've seen them a few times. And
right. This version is good.
Oh yeah, well,
and the country guy,
Vince Gill.
Oh my God,
he's a great guitar player.
But he's just a great singer, musician.
Oh yeah,
everything, dude. He's a performer, bro. Like I don't know.
He was a
Vince
big
Gill.
solo artist. I think.
I know.
I think he was with a band called the Pure Prairie League before.
Oh, really?
I think he started in the Pure Prairie League. So I don't know if your listeners
I
know
saw
better.
The Pure Prairie League back in the 80s.
If your listeners know better than me, maybe someone's going to type in, "You're all wrong. You don't know anything about it." But I think he was in the Pure Prairie League, and if I had my phone, I would Google it. But
he'll Google it for us.
And then he went out to do his solo thing.
I had no idea that he was in the Pure Prairie League.
So again, maybe I'm wrong, but it's not the first time.
Wow. I've seen the Pure Prairie League like 8 times in my lifetime because they're always like an opener for the Outlaws or
like county fairs and stuff like that. Now maybe the like amphitheater kind of circuit.
Yeah, I know, but if you go see God, I'm trying to think of this band with Doug Gray, the lead singer.
Marshall Tucker, 38 Special, those type of bands.
They'll be opening constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've seen Pure Prairie League as the opener to a bunch of these bands over the last 30 years.
Well, we got our production team here checking it out.
What is it? He was right?
He was in the Pure Prairie League.
Pure Prairie League. Okay. Right. Did he write Amy?
That's the song everybody knows, right?
Yeah, it's their most popular song. I don't know how.
So it's a similar thing. The Pure Prairie League was like a
feeder system.
You would see that they were definitely influenced by what the Eagles started.
Yeah,
and that whole scene. That
Poco.
That Poco, right?
Poco produced 2 singers for them, Timothy B. Schmidt, and then the guy Timothy replaced
Randy Meisner.
Both of them came from Poco.
Yeah, Randy was in Poco, founding member of Poco, left and then was replaced by Timothy. And then when he left the Eagles, he was replaced by Timothy.
Yeah. So, Timothy, actually, that's my favorite Eagles song is the one that he sings, I Can't Tell You Why. That's actually
a great song.
That's actually my favorite
Take It to the Limit's a big song.
Oh, my God.
Yes. I mean, I think that's the reason why Randy Meisner quit. He didn't want to sing that song anymore.
Right. And it's like, dude, like,
it was too high. It was too much pressure to do that, hit that high note every night.
It's because he was partying, and then the next, and like Glenn's like, yo, you think I want to do Tequila Sunrise every damn night?
Yeah.
But they want to hear it, and they got to hear your song too. You know what I mean?
A lot of these guys set themselves up in their 20s to have to sing songs in their 40s and 50s that,
there's some falsetto in Dirty Honey. Have you gotten into Dirty Honey?
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
They're super awesome, and I've seen them several times. But there's a couple of songs that they do that I have turned to my wife and I've said, 20 years from now, he won't be able to do that song anymore. You know, so enjoy it now while it lasts, because all that stuff, man. You just won't be able to
listen to Axl now, and
you can't do that.
I mean, look, and he's really early 60s, but Brian Johnson, when he was singing for his life on that Back in Black album, he had already been in a band that did a little Geordie. And there's YouTube videos. It's pretty cool if you see him. I've seen him on YouTube. Yeah. But not that big. I don't think they did anything in the U.S. They're really a British thing, and he basically that ran its course, and he's back like fixing cars or something, and he gets this call to join AC/DC, and he was singing for his life at that moment.
Oh God!
And then those notes and that vocal performance that he did that week when he was 30 years old,
right?
And now here he is, 77 or whatever,
right?
Trying to do that. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I just saw John Waite at 75.
Oh, he's one of the freaks. He can still do it.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
dude.
he can still do it.
He blew me away. I just saw him last month.
Yeah.
Up in Ocala, up in Jacksonville. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And wow, his voice is still top notch, man.
Yeah.
And he's 75, and it's like, wow, man.
Yeah,
Shaka Khan still sounds.
I saw Sammy Hagar out in California last year, and
he drinks a lot of liquor.
He was pouring tequila.
He drinks it in every show.
He poured us shots of tequila.
Cabo Wabo.
It was like well, now he's got his own new brand. I think he sold that. Now he's got like.
Oh, really?
Rum bar or some other stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. So he's got another brand now?
He's got some other stuff, going on. But
I didn't know he sold Cabo Wabo?
I think Cabo Wabo, yeah.
Wow,
and
smart.
I don't know. I'm not going to be like the guy that's going to start like music news rumors here, but like that, yeah. And it's Santo Tequila now because he sold Cabo. And I think that was a big issue between him and the Van Halen brothers, because early on they were on board and the thing wasn't doing well, and he bought him out, and then he cashed out big. So
it's business.
That didn't make Alex Van Halen love him anymore. Yeah, Guy Fieri.
Oh, okay. He teamed up with Guy Fieri.
Yeah. And they got a rum and they got a tequila, and
Guy Fieri effed with everybody the other day during his birthday. Did you see it?
No, I didn't catch that.
He took off all his hair and everything, like he went
shaved
back
his
to
head.
normal and shaved his face, and like he looked unrecognizable.
Right.
And he was doing some kind of a commercial or something. So he screwed around at the same time and put out a post. If you can track it down, go look at it. And you're going to go, wait a minute, this is AI or something.
Right.
And he tripped everybody out how he normally looks, like he would normally look if he didn't look like himself.
Without bleaching the hair.
Without the bleaching the hair, the earring, the beard, everything. Just like it was like he looked like a normal guy. And you're like, holy crap, dude. Guy Fieri looks completely different.
Wow.
All right. So what rocking deals do we have going on?
Well, Acura is
wrapping
really
up this weekend.
Acura is really stepping up the game here. They're looking to beat their sales volume for last year, and usually a lot of these manufacturers, and within our organization, we have several other brands, and usually January and February they kind of take some time off mentally. The factory reps and managers come back after the holidays, and now they start planning how the year is going to go. Well, they just hit the ground running, and they just keep throwing more incentive money at us. So we've got all kinds of money now. If you're in a lease to get into another lease, If you're interested in a certified car, they have rates as low as 1.49.
Ooh, nice.
So I've got 2025 or 2026 model year cars that are 5,000 or 6,000 miles that people are trading in, or they're part of the courtesy car fleets or retired car, now certified with a 100,000 mile warranty. You could save $10,000 off the price of a new one.
By the way, my wife, her RDX that she has in her 16th year, she bought it with 6,000 miles. It was one of those cars
certified car
back in 2010.
Yeah,
certified car. So to me, that's one of the best deals that exist out there, because they use it as a demo or whatever, and it has a couple thousand miles, and the car is really
these cars
shape.
I'm talking about literally a new one's 59,000. You're buying a used one for less than 50,000, and the interest rates are lower than you get on a new car. Yeah. So and you get a longer warranty. So that's crazy.
And by the way, she's still driving it 16 years later. So, I just want to make sure.
So with customers like her, if we had every customer's like her, we'd be out of business.
Well, stop building tanks.
Yeah.
By the way, I only have my car because I totaled my TSX.
Yes, and you walked away.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's a terrific car, but I regret it because that TSX. I've told you before, my two favorite cars are the 83 280ZX and that TSX.
Yeah, well,
those are the, oh my God.
So Acura has this thing. I mean, it's Honda. It's Honda.
Right.
It's
same thing.
It's the premium line of Honda.
Right.
And the company's run by engineers. They don't want to be the biggest. They want to be the best. So when you're buying an Acura, you're buying the best technology, the safest car, stuff you don't even see underneath the skin. I mean, people look at the car, they look at the wheels, they look at the color. Hey, it's sporty, it's cool, it's fun. I like the stereo. I'll take it. But there's so much engineering and so much common sense stuff that goes into the design of the car. I mean, we get cars on trade. We see BMW. I mean, all great cars, BMWs, Range Rovers, Mercedes-Benz, other premium luxury vehicles. The stuff they pack into a car, just simple stuff like walk away auto locking and some of the safety features, heads up display. Some of these things, they're so convenient, and you don't know what you got till it's gone. I've met customers that say, hey, I'm not going to get a second or third one. I've had this, I've loved it. I'm going to get something different. The wife wants something different. And then I see them 2 years later. They're like, man, I gave up so much stuff for a badge. I got so much more content and quality. I mean, this is a cool looking car and everything, but I don't really want to know my service advisor by first name, because I'm in the shop every other month with a warranty problem.
Yeah, I know.
So again, we got lease programs out there that I've not seen before. 48-month leases, 36-month leases, crazy incentives as far as if you're driving a competitive vehicle or if you're currently in an Acura or a Honda, the loyalty program and advantage programs are offering. I've never seen anything like it in February. I mean, usually they wait till end of the year or holiday times and things like this, summer sales events. They're like, let's go right now. So it's a pretty exciting time. We got a great selection of cars, 2026 models on the ground, new colors. Like you see this blue color over here, this double Apex
blue. I
blue.
love it, man.
If you like blue, you can't get more blue than that. And that said, it's a great time to come in and buy. We got deals we got to make. I'm wearing black for a reason. It's Black Friday here today. We're going to make deals. Anything we can sell, if you can we're going to get you qualified. We're going to pay as much as we can for a trade. We're going to put you in a lease, put you in a retail deal, accept your credit union draft, whatever way it makes sense to you to buy a vehicle. We want to make it as easy as possible here. So you waited for the right weekend to buy a car. Time is now. So let's go.
Come on, baby. And the lot is loaded. It is overflowing. They've got a great selection of new vehicles like they always do. And, of course, they've got the certified pre-owned vehicles. So come on out here. It's the end of the month. They want to make you some deals. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines.
Yeah, one last thing I want to add. We're looking to buy used cars because where the used car market is blowing up. So supply and demand is working in your favor. If you got a car you're thinking about selling, thinking about trading, it's worth more now than it was in December. And that never happens. That never happens.
It's crazy.
So your model year older car now, because it's now calendar year 26, and the car's got more miles on it, but it's worth more than it was in December. So it's a great time to take advantage.
There you go. So get on down here and make sure you tell them that we sent you out here. As always.
Thank you, O.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody out there in Radio Land.
And we'll see you at Metallica in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. I love it. That's one of my favorite albums. Oh, I love it. All right, great stuff. Donardo Joseph, by the way, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App multiple times. He mentioned Cam Wake had short arms. That's right. Cam Wake had short arms. He wasn't necessarily a long dude per se. Robert Mathis was the guy that I was thinking of opposite of Dwight Freeney. Thank you, Donardo Joseph. Thank you. Appreciate your generosity, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go, multiple times. And Ocala Joe, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App. Appreciate you. Says, the comedy you put out is priceless. Well, thank you. I don't know what I said. What was funny? Did I say something funny? I don't know. But thank you. If I made it, if the whale laughed, then it's all good, right? Yeah. If Ocala Joe laughs, then it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Oh, Lordy. By the way, I have my Metallica shirt on in honor of the sale of the tickets starting today. This is actually from the show at the Hard Rock where they performed Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, their first two albums. So there you go, because they were honoring their first record company and the owners and all that, because they had passed away, I believe. That's what it was. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you out there. All right. As always, remember Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. What else do we have going on? By the way, can we the Dolphins NFLPA rankings? This is just one of those low-hanging fruit type of topics, and it's a silly topic because let me explain to you guys something. Sean, you've been in radio, right? So how many radio stations did you work at where they gave you a terrible environment, didn't give you enough to actually do your job? Like all of them? Okay. How about you at your work? Is your workplace fine? Do they give you everything that you need? Is it like really comfortable? Do you have like the best lounge area? Do you have the nicest bosses? Do they give you like really nice? Do they tell you, oh, you want a smoking break? Go ahead, man. It's no problem. How is it? How is your workplace? I'm just wondering. Because I think most workplaces are, some of them are really shitty. At least for me, in the radio stations that I worked with, I'm going to say the only one that I could say gave me everything I needed was Mad Dog Radio and Sirius. They provided pretty much everything you needed. But outside of that, every other local station I ever worked for, they always were missing all kinds of shit, whatever, all kinds of stuff. And we had to make do with whatever we had. And sometimes had to do more than we should. Okay? Because I know for myself, you think that they bought me when I bought a digital recorder, do you think QAM bought it for me? Not at all. Not at all. But I had to buy it out of my money. They gave me a Marantz, because they did. They gave me the Marantz. It's a big old cassette deck. But I'm like, yo, dude, we're in the age of digital, man. Let's get something cleaner. You know, and so I went and bought it. Did they pay for me to go to the Combine and the Senior Bowl and No. I had to do that in order to become a better reporter and go learn and go meet people, go meet agents and scouts and coaches and GMs and all that. And that's the only way I was going to, because I knew writers, they travel and the newspapers pay for that. Radio stations don't. So why am I supposed to worry about how some stupid ass football player has either a haircut or he can get himself a latte? I'm just wondering. And why is it all the ones that are ranked shitty are all the ones that are always winning? The Chiefs were like last and they won titles. This year, it's like the Patriots are one of the worst and they won like 87 games this year and won the division. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit if the player has an extra size locker. I don't care if they gave him some stupid chair that is built to the contours of his body. I don't give a shit about that. I care, do you win or do you lose? And all I know is the Dolphins are losers. I don't care about your stupid NFLPA ratings. They mean nothing to me. You're a millionaire playing the game. Take care of your damn self, dude. I'm a broke-ass fool, and I took care of myself. So this is like a subject? This is like something that you strive for? I mean, this is the dumbest subject that's out there, especially for fans or media. Who gives a shit? So when the Dolphins were winning championships, they were at Biscayne College with rats and roaches. Cheap-ass Joe Robbie. Now we got rich-ass Ross, and you do nothing. Why should I care? I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, the Miami Dolphins should be actually preparing their work in a dungeon. That's what they deserve. They should be preparing, their lockers should be in the sewer. They should earn the right to actually have half-decent locker rooms. They shouldn't be given any creature comforts whatsoever. And by the way, they all get paid enough to buy their own damn creature comforts. Didn't Zach Thomas buy his own, chamber and shit like that? Yeah, I know he did. It's a rhetorical question. Give me a break, bro. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't care about your little stupid NFLPA. All I know is the Dolphins are a pathetic bunch. They're a shitty-ass franchise. That's all I know about the Dolphins. Last 30 years, they're a freaking embarrassment. They're a disgrace. That's what I know. I don't care about your stupid-ass NFLPA report. I don't care about your stupid practice facility. I don't care about your silly-ass slide, you idiots. I care about winning. And the only thing I know is you don't know how to win, and you don't know how to build a football team. I don't give a shit that you can build a sauna. Don't care. I don't care. Morons. By the way, our friends at the Big Cheese, they will even serve everybody. Even morons that worry about the NFLPA report. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. All their dishes, by the way, can become party platters, too. They've also got a nice patio area that they rent out. Up to 40 people can be hosted. So if you got some kind of a birthday party, a get-together, awards, something like that, you want to reward your employees, whatever it is, reach out to our friends at the Big Cheese. Go bigcheesemiami.com. Call them 305-662-6855. It started with Gary 40 years ago, man. Gary and Billy built this thing up. Billy, rest in peace. Gary has kept it going, and the tradition is there. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and start every meal with those delicious garlic rolls. They are to die for. Plus, they give you a little bit of that pizza sauce so you can dip. Woo! Awesome. Awesome stuff. BigCheeseMiami.com. All right. Do you want cats? Oh, no, I already read that one. What do we have here? Is it get them all, Big O, all facts? Thank you. Big O question. Why do people say he's a dog when he's one of the laziest animals, spoiled and stays at home? Why don't people say he's a tiger, more vicious? All they do is hunt. Well, it depends on what kind of dog you have. I mean, Maiden, my girl, she hangs out. But why don't you go knock on the door and she's going to be waiting for you right on the other side of the door. Talons, teeth, nasty. Like, she's the biggest sweetheart in the world to us, right? My dog is, by the way, Maiden is a trip, because when she's happy, she growls at you and shows her teeth. And that like other people that have come at the house, when she does that, they freak out. They think that Maiden's getting mad. I'm like, no. She's enjoying herself right now. Like, she sounds mad. No, she's not. But, when she's mad, you'll know when she's mad, because she'll, like, really explode. So depends on what you call a dog. You know what I'm saying? So, it's Maiden is a fighter. Then she's a lover. She is nasty. So I tell the story all the time that sometimes when delivery people come, sometimes for fun, I stay in the background and I let the dogs go to the door, and my dog is up on the door and shaking the door. And I've seen delivery people like back away like 5-6 feet, like freaking out, because, if I open that door and that dog gets away from me, it's not going to be good for me. It will not be good for me. It won't be good for that person, and will not be good for me, because I know I'm going to get sued probably. Because she's a mean bitch for people that she doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what you call a dog. I have a little short-haired Chihuahua. His name is Ollie, and he's the biggest hanger out in the world. He loves to hang out, and he's a complete lover. There's no fighting in Ollie whatsoever. He might bark from like 8 miles away from you. He's that little dog that he's mad, but he's mad like all the way over there. And if you walk up to him, he's just going to be like quiet and hanging out. That's Ollie. Ollie's a lover. You've met Ollie. You guys have met Ollie. That's like my little son. He's just like an angel, absolute total angel. So yeah, if he's Ollie, yeah. If she's Maiden, well, they had an album called Killers. That would be Maiden. One thing, I've always had males all my life. This was the first girl dog I ever had. And from here on out, for the rest of my life, I will have a girl dog always present. And I think they're man, they might be the best guard dogs. They are more vicious, right? At least that's been my experience. It feels like that, dude.
I got the same experience. Yeah.
You've experienced the same thing? Yeah. So I'm going to have, I hope I have Maiden forever, but if I have to get the next guard dog, it will be a female. I've learned that lesson with Maiden. She is awesome, man. Awesome. Bad bitch. Athletic as a mofo too, man. She can jump and, man, run like the wind, dude. Strong as hell. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have? Tigers are more vicious than dogs. Well, I mean, you don't really keep a tiger at home. You know what I mean? So it all depends. You can teach a dog to turn it on and turn it off. You can't teach the tiger to turn it off, pretty much. There are a few people that have them as pets. There are those freaks out there that somehow or another, they you see it, but yeah. I have Anthony. Maiden is a mix. She's an adopted dog. She is a German Shepherd, a Boxer, and a Terrier, all mixed. Really beautiful combination. And then I have Bono, another big dog. He's a Carolina dog. Man, what a beautiful personality that dog has. And he's awesome too. And then I have two small dogs. I have two big dogs and two small dogs. And then the two small dogs, I have a Yorkie, and his name is Ziggy. He's the Tua of the family. And then I have Ollie, the short hair Chihuahua. So we have 4 dogs. Let's see. You and Dolphins don't care, but these players are pampered and entitled. Winning is only important to fans. Exactly. This whole stuff, I don't really care about your stupid little NFLPA thing. I want my team to win, dude. That's what I want. I want my team to win. By the way, where's the market at right now? I haven't checked it in a little bit. What do we got going on the Bitcoin side? We are at 65,933, so hanging out right under 66. How about the market with all the inflation numbers? Dow is down 488 points. The S&P is down 36 points, and the NASDAQ is down a point. And that is, of course, because we had bad inflation numbers. Unfortunately come out because inflation has been going up. January PPI inflation comes in at 2.9%. The expectations were 2.6. Core PPI inflation rises to 3.6 above the expectations of 3. So, and then PC inflation has also been smoking hot. So it is what it is. Do you know right now around the country, there are 44% more home sellers than buyers. A lot of homes on the market right now. A lot of homes. And they're all just sitting there. It's hard to sell, you know. So because people are, they brought the mortgage rates down. Well, did you see what's going on? Inflation's up. People are losing jobs at a record rate because AI is wiping out jobs. Corporations are using AI and they're becoming more efficient, and what's it called? Jack Dorsey just released 4,000 employees yesterday. So, you know, this is what's happening. You got inflation pumping, you got our job losses are growing by the month. It's not a good thing, dude. Dollars getting killed. That's why people aren't buying homes. Oh, by the way, they're also backing out of mortgage deals at a record rate. So it's not good. It's not good. So we'll see. Maybe they'll start cutting some rates here. We'll see. We shall see what we shall see. What else do we have here? Let me do a little music, by the way. Do a little music before I do a little Dolphins. Alrighty. Let's go with musicians born on the 27th. Josh Groban, U.S. singer, born in 1981 on this date. Rosanda Thomas, Chile, from the group TLC, born in 1971. George Tatuska, the drummer for the Goo Goo Dolls, born in 1965. Derek McKenzie from the British group The Shaman. What is it? Love, Sex, Intelligence. That's actually a very good song from the Shaman. Love, Sex, Intelligence. Look it up. The Shaman, Love, Sex, Intelligence. Okay, good one. 1960s, Paul Humphreys, keyboardist with OMD. Let's see who else. Johnny Roy Van Zant. I didn't know there was a Roy in there. I just thought it was Johnny Van Zant. You learn something every day. The current lead vocalist of the Southern rock band Leonard Skinner. I didn't know he had a Roy in there. He's the younger brother of the late co-founder Ronnie Van Zant. I didn't know he was. I thought it was only Johnny Van Zant, so it's Johnny Roy Van Zant. Did not know that. Speaking of Iron Maiden today, Adrian Smith, guitarist with Iron Maiden, born in 1957. Neil Schon, another great guitarist with Journey, born in 1954. Damn. Nice job here. Eddie Gray from Tommy James and the Shondells, born in 48. Okay, we are done with musicians. Let's now go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means that they have passed away, like U.S. Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black, born in 1886, writer John Steinbeck, born in 1902, actress Joanne Woodward, born in 1930. She is 96 today. Awesome. Activist Ralph Nader, born in 34. He is 92 today. Let's see. Actor Howard Hessman, born in 1940. Actress Deborah Monk, born in 49. She's 77. See, here they have musician Johnny Van Zant. They didn't put the Roy in there. That's what I'm used to. Actor Adam Baldwin, born in 62. He's 64. Writer, activist, former first daughter, Chelsea Clinton, 1980. She is 46. Jared Champion from Cage the Elephant, born in 83. He's 43. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Nabu Son is 30. Shay Samuels is 41. Templario probably is 34. And Yoshio Yamada is 56 on February 27th, 2026.
Okay. All right. Let's go with music history now. What happened today in music history? And we start off in 61. Chubby Checker started a 3-week run at number one on the U.S. singles charts with Pony Time, his second number one in the 60s. In 1970, members of Jefferson Airplane were fined $1,000 for using profane language during a concert in Oklahoma. Can you imagine that? In 1970, saying the F word and you get fined. In 71, Janis Joplin's album Pearl hit number one in the U.S., where it stayed for 9 weeks. Joplin had died of a heroin overdose 3 months before the album was released. In 78, Village People released their second studio album, Macho Man. It features the singles Macho, Macho Man, and I Am What I Am. In 81, The Who released You Better, You'd Better, You Bet. Ooh, you better, you better, you bet. Let's see. Their first single from the 78 death of drummer Keith Moon. Kenny Jones, formerly of The Faces, was the band's new drummer. When I said I love you, you say you better. You better, you better, you bet. In 84, Queen released their 11th album, The Works. It features Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, and I Want to Break Free. In 93, Whitney Houston's single, I Will Always Love You, reached its 14th week at number one, a new record. In 95, the record was broken by One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men. Let's see. In 2001, Carlos Santana returned to Atlan de Navarro, the town in Mexico where he grew up, for the first time in 46 years. A statue in honor of Carlos and his father, mariachi player Jose Santana, was unveiled. In 2009, an incredibly underrated album. It was U2's 12th, No Line on the Horizon. The singles from the album include Get on Your Boots, Magnificent, and If I Go Crazy, I Don't Go Crazy Tonight. After initial sessions with producer Rick Rubin, the band reunited with frequent production collaborations Brian Eno, Daniel Lanois, and Steve Lillywhite to finish the material. The album cover featured a photograph of Lake Constance, which sits where the borders of Germany, Switzerland, and Austria meet. The extravagant U2 360 tour launched following the album's release. And I still say to this day that the U2 360 stage is the greatest stage I have ever seen in a stadium tour. Never been a better stadium stage ever than 360. It was genius in the sense that it got close to as possibly you can get to everybody in the stadium. And then the way it was designed was just ridiculous. And then the screen that was all the way around that could expand and everything, everything about that was just absolute genius. And by the way, in 2010, U2 earned more money than any other musical act performed in the U.S. in 2009, making $109 million from touring, record sales, and other royalties, which was almost twice as much as the second best, Bruce Springsteen, who took home $58 million that year. Let's see. In 2015, Leonard Nimoy died at the age of 83. The actor was best known as playing Spock on Star Trek, but he also made musical impacts. His album, Mr. Spock's Music from Outer Space, and Two Sides of Leonard Nimoy both charted in the U.S., number 83 and number 97, respectively. And his voice was sampled in the 88 hit song, What's on Your Mind? Pure Energy. Pure Energy. That's his part. By St. Paul Band Information Society. A band I like a lot. In 2016, 21 Pilots, Stressed Out, peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, where it stayed for 1 week. It was the duo's first foray into the top 10. What else? Let's see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. Nope. That's what happened today in music history. Done. History in the archives there. All right. Folks, we try to help you avoid the pitfalls of sports talk radio and sports writing and things like that. And so I just want to, help you out and kind of explain to you, when you hear people talk about Anthony Richardson for the Miami Dolphins, you have to take a step back and look at who they just hired. And we've kind of been talking about this theme lately, okay? And we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but since the whole Anthony Richardson thing, I just want to, just kind of squash it, because I get it when, I get in the car and I tune into some of the boys I used to work with, or some of the guys that are there on QAM, and they're talking about it like it's something real. I get it. They're just used to doing lazy talk radio, and that's kind of what they do on average there at QAM. Here, we kind of educate you, and we kind of walk you through why, when people bring certain things up, why it's stupid and it makes no sense. Anthony Richardson is one. Not because I don't think he's good enough, not because I think he's a low IQ quarterback as it is, but it's because, okay, the guys you have in place, that's not their track record. Green Bay doesn't throw people that aren't prepared into the foray. So they're not going to trade for a guy that hasn't proven shit, and they're not going to trade for a guy and throw him into a team that is going to be completely decimated this offseason. It's already been somewhat decimated. They'll continue to decimate it. They're going to get young and cheap. That doesn't mean you're going to be great. That doesn't even mean you will be good probably next year. You're going to be bad. And normally what Green Bay does is they don't throw young players into terrible situations. So when Brett Favre was starting for them, it was a good team already. When Aaron Rodgers stepped in for Brett Favre, it was already a ready-made team. And when Jordan Love stepped in, it was already a ready-made team. So these guys are going to try to build a team before they build a quarterback. And sure, they'll draft a guy in the third day, and they have now this guy, and they've got to throw these guys out there because they've got no choice. But they're not going to make a heavy investment on anybody in free agency, or they're not going to make a heavy investment on any kind of draft picks with a guy like Anthony Richardson, who's so raw that, Minnesota having interest makes sense. Not because he's any good or anything like that, but I can see Kevin O'Connell saying, well, we have a great team. He doesn't have to carry us. He doesn't have to do everything. He just has to facilitate. Can I make him good enough to facilitate? And that's where Kevin O'Connell's job is. We'll see. He couldn't work miracles with the Philly kid that came from South Dakota State. What was his name? Carson Wentz. He was still terrible. You know, he couldn't fix everybody. So, you know, I don't think he'll be able to fix this guy whatsoever. So I'm just telling you, this is silly talk. And if I'm going by their track record is not to throw just young people to the wolves like that. Their track record is to build teams and prepare their quarterback for the moment, not throw them in there like we have to Ryan Tannehill and to Tua Tagovailoa when you throw them into situations that were absolutely horrible. And that's what we do to all our guys, John Beck, whatever guy you've ever drafted, they never walked into you know who walked into a pretty good situation? Holy shit, I can't. I've said this already. This is the second time I'm actually crediting this man. Jay Fiedler. Jay Fiedler had a pretty good offensive line. He had some pretty good running backs. He had some pretty good receivers. He had a pass-catching fullback. He had pretty good tight ends. He had some pretty good offensive coordinators. He just wasn't, you know, the guy. He was serviceable. It's probably more of a backup, but he had more of a team around him to succeed. When Ryan Tannehill got to start, remember? There was nobody, dude. It was like Brian Hartline, right? Was their best receiver? Wasn't he like a 1,000-yard receiver 2 years in a row or something? Yeah, you know, like that was your best receiver. And then with Tua, the same thing. You didn't have anything around him, no offensive line, whatever. We do this all the time. These guys don't do that. That's not their MO. That's not where Sullivan comes from. So that's why, to me, this is all lazy radio or whatever, anybody doing it. You know, I can't say I'm listening to podcasts, but I do tune in and listen to QAM on the radio when I get in the car. I like to see what they're, you know, what some of these people are talking about, see if anything is actually useful. You know what I'm saying? And Anthony Richardson talk it shows me that you really are not paying attention to who's taken over and what they've done and what their history is. Yes, sir.
Legadou Nani.
Oh, yeah.
Marlon Moore.
Yep.
Rookie Rashard Matthews.
Yes, sir.
Devon Bess.
Yes, sir.
And Brian Hartline.
Yes, sir.
That's the receiving room for the year.
I know. It's ridiculous. And so I've learned my lesson. I don't know about you guys, but I've learned my lesson. We don't need a quarterback right now. This you're not going anywhere. Build the lines. Let's build inside out. Let's build the team. And I think that's what they're all about, dude. I don't want to like overcommit and, oh my God, I really feel good about, I want them to make me feel that way. But right now I just get the vibe that they're going to do the Green Bay thing, which, like, if you pay attention, it's not what these people are. Oh, let's go get Malik Willis right now. Oh, let's go trade for Anthony. No. That's just off-season fodder bullshit. But if you do your homework, that's not what these guys aren't doing that. They're not about that. So there you go. The only thing better than U2's 360 was rather Earth, Wind, and Fire's Gratitude Tour choreographed by Doug Henning, the world's greatest magician. Okay. I don't remember that because I didn't see the Gratitude Tour. I saw the like right after Let's Groove Tonight, the next album. I have to remember which one it is, but that's when I first saw them. When they, had, like, it was a real Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then after that, I've seen a couple of Earth, Wind, and Fires that, whatever. But yeah, I remember that. But I didn't see that tour, so I don't know. I can't speak for that. But I got to tell you, was that a stadium tour? That Earth, Wind, and Fire one? The Gratitude? Was it a stadium tour or was it an arena tour? What did you put there? I don't know. If it was an arena tour, that doesn't compare. It has to be a stadium tour, stadium stage. I've never seen anything like it. Never. And I've been to a shit ton of shows. Pat in Nashville, U2 had 3 claws for the tour. It took 5 days to assemble and 2 days to take down. 114 trucks to hold all three. Yeah. Yeah, because they're building it ahead of time, and it's like it's not the same stage. That stage won't when it's taken down, it's like 3 concerts down the line that it's going to be built for, you know. So he's right about that. But that whole stage, and I've never seen anything like that. That was genius. That was engineering genius, that 360 tour. That was really, really cool. He says, I got a tour of the backstage. It was amazing. Wow. You lucky bastard. You are awesome. Big O, you sound like the new regime. So you like the new regime. So far, I like everything they've done. Yes. Everything they've done makes 100% common sense. Until they do something stupid, like some of the people locally are talking about Anthony Richardson or Malik Willis. I think those guys are smarter than the silly people that are talking about Malik Willis and Anthony Richardson. So if anybody's telling you we should sign Malik Willis, those people don't know anything about football. Okay? That's all. And I just get the feeling they're not. Do you have that in hunch too, that they're not taking the cheese? The Green Bay people from Wisconsin are not taking the cheese.
No, they've left the cheese.
They've left the cheese.
They've left the cheese, so they're here.
I think I think they really know that they've got to reset.
Yeah, I think what he said, cheap
and young.
I think that's the way of saying, hey, we're not going to be good,
and we're not going to go to Malik Willis because he might be young because he ain't cheap.
I think the fact too, once he said, I like Malik, I like what he did. But with once he said, but with the Dolphins, we're in the area like,
yes.
I mean, I don't know any other way, but that's the nice no.
Right.
Malik.
And I wish him the best, and I wish him the best or something like that. And all that.
It's not you, Malik. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah. I just think some people don't really pay attention to what's going on. You know what I mean?
People hear what they want to hear, and then they'll take what they hear and make it
right.
They're
right.
They're right. They heard it right.
Right. Right. It's the same. It's just crazy stuff, man. So yeah, right now, Drew, I'm all right. I'm all right with what they've done. I think everything they've done is just 100%, and I am convinced that they're not going to do the stupid stuff, the Malik Willis stuff, and all that. But we'll see. I mean, that's my hunch. I'm going off their history. I'm going about what they've been around and how they do things. I get that. And the guy that's making the personnel decisions has been there for 20 years in Green Bay. He knows exactly what to do. And he was there for the transition from Rodgers to Love. And he caught the back end. And he knows the stories of everything that they had to do in order to put Rodgers on Favre after that. So I think he understands all of this. I really do. So I feel good about that. So we'll see. We shall see. But I'm excited about that at least. I'm consistent about this. I don't shy away from rebuilds. I find it exciting. No matter what, I find it exciting. I did it the last time when they were starting to rebuild this. I like rebuilds because that's the time I get hope. And the Heat, you never give me any hope, dude, because you never rebuild. You keep augmenting and augmenting and augmenting and augmenting and augmenting. And no, what you have is shit, dude. You don't have anything. Please, a clean canvas. For once in your life, a clean canvas and start from raw. And they won't do it. So they give me no hope. Is that strange? Freaking Pat Riley gives me no hope. How does that make any sense? And now I'm looking at the Dolphins and I'm going, well, at least I got a little hope here because they're starting from scratch. And they're going to rebuild it. And hopefully now we'll see if they start rebuilding it the right way. But at least I'm hopeful of that. They understood their problem and they're correcting it. They're getting rid of everything that they have to get rid of. God bless you, bro. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, that's all I'm asking for as a fan. You haven't won, but at least, dude, show me that you know what the hell you're doing. And that's what I haven't seen from the Dolphins in forever. So for now, Sully and a half have definitely started off exactly the way you're supposed to start. And they've said everything the right way, everything. Now they've got to go follow through on everything. And let's see. That's all. Rebuilds are rough. I get it. And it's even rougher when they don't resolve into anything, because it's hard to feel good about the next rebuild and the next rebuild because it continues to fail. And that's where we're at with the Dolphins. But with the Heat compared to the Dolphins right now, I have a chance to see the Dolphins build it right because they're actually tearing it down. I have no chance with the Miami Heat. None. This whole thing in the hamster wheel and chasing your tail, and you keep doing it, and we keep waiting for a whale, and we keep waiting for a whale, and they pick us, and you don't have the picks to trade for the whale. You don't have the cap space to trade for the whale. All these stupid things that continue to be in your way, and you don't notice it. So it's in a strange way, the way Sully is starting to do the Dolphins, at least I have an inkling of maybe they'll do it the right way. But I am convinced the Heat, they're going nowhere. Nowhere. We thank David Furones. We thank the amazing Larry Schlossberg, as always, the one and only Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, as always, driving the program, mastering the entire platform. We thank all of you that tuned in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please hit that like button, hit the notification bell. You never know. Sometimes we go on, sometimes some breaking news. Sometimes we come on a little earlier than normal. Sometimes we come on a little later than normal. The notification bell will tell you then. You can make a donation to the show anytime, anywhere, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, and insults and all kinds of good stuff, and we will answer them. Thank you all out there. We'll see you on Monday morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.